Hello, welcome back to my channel, Grace Creates, and welcome to my Throwback Thursdays. Woohoo! If you're joining me for the first time, every week on a Thursday, I will showcase my drawing pads from 2008 until last year in 2024. I'm very excited to show you my drawings. Except for last week. Last week was all my was a little bit embarrassing for me, showcasing those drawings when I was 14 years old. But you know, I guess you got to start somewhere as an artist, and I was obsessed with horses, so hence why I'm so good at horses today, because I drew them so darn much when I was younger. So today I'm showcasing my drawing pad for the first half of 2009. Wow, so long ago. Some of you weren't even born in 2009, so that's fun. I was 15 at that age, so from 2009 until 2011 I was drawing a lot. I don't know how I managed to draw so much back then, to be honest, but I have two drawing pads from 2009 to 2011. So today I'm showcasing the first half of 2009. So here we go. So now I mentioned last week that when I was younger, I didn't always finish my drawings. I still have a habit of it today. I mean, sometimes I've started something and I haven't finished it. So this is one of those classic times. So I actually saw this drawing in one of my mum's cross-stitch books. So there was this really nice picture of a herd of elephants walking across, and I thought it was really nice to draw, but unfortunately I never finished it. I don't draw elephants a lot, but yeah, this would have been a nice drawing had I finished it. So yeah, moving on. This was a motorbike actually down the street from me. My parents' house was a two-story, and we could see had amazing views of where we lived, and yeah, so just down the road there was this really nice motorbike, and so I decided to draw it, which was really cool. It's not a lot of detail because I was drawing it from my house, and this would be about, was it 50 meters away, I think, but and part of it's missing because of this pole. But yeah, yeah, I really like the motorbike, so gave it a go. Even did a bit of background. I wasn't too big on drawing backgrounds back then, but so this was something out of my comfort zone, but yeah, it's not too bad. The shading's not too bad either. Pretty basic shading there. This was from my favourite drawing book. So at the end of on Christmas 2008, I got this amazing drawing book called Awesome. I think it's called Awesome Things to Draw. And it was a collection of 6 books, and for the first time drawing book had a tiger, and I was obsessed with the picture, and it took me flipping. I found this picture actually quite difficult to draw. I think, as you can see, these hard lines are of me actually tracing the picture from the drawing book to here. So yeah, I was pretty frustrated with that picture. I wanted it to look perfect. I wanted it to look exactly like the picture in the drawing book, and I was frustrated to the point where I decided to trace it. I'm pretty sure there's another picture of this later on, but yeah, so that's that picture. that drawing book is now, I've now passed it on to my nephew. So yeah, so it's one of my favourite books. So around this time, I was getting into drawing video game characters. This year this drawing book has a few of them, and one of them is, here we are, we've got Jak 2. Again, it's unfinished. I think I copied it off my oldest brother's drawing actually, and he hadn't finished the picture either, so this was all he had, and so I copied it. So yeah, growing up, we didn't have a PS2, we had a PS1, and so at the start of 2009, my oldest brother got to borrow his friend's PS2, and so that's when I first got to experience Jak 2 and all those amazing games. And I ended up getting my own PS2 when I was 20 years old. So, but yeah, I love Jak and Daxter, one of my favourite video games from the PS2. So there's that. I'm planning to draw him again actually this year, so all 3 versions of him, so 1, 2 and 3. So that should be really cool. This is one of my favourite pictures, again from PS2 game, one of the other more famous ones, Ratchet and Clank. I actually really like this picture. It's probably one of those, one of the first times I put like all my effort into drawing this, and I didn't have the best pencils, as you can see. It was a challenge for me to blend and combine different colours to get the right colour. There was a lot of shadow in this particular picture, so I did my best, and I think it turned out alright. I reckon this is probably my favourite picture in this drawing book. It's really well done, even for my age. So yeah, great picture. I used to think back then I had to have all the exact colours, and I remember my oldest brother had one of those 48 Faber-Castell colouring pencil sets, and I was like, oh, can I use that to colour in this picture? And I was like, no, use your own. But I was just like, oh, but I need all the right colours, and he was just like, well, you just blend and combine colours, you know, create them from 2 separate colours. So I did that begrudgingly, but I think it made my drawings better, made my really helped me upskill in my art, being able to combine different colours to get the right colour. So yeah, that's Ratchet and Clank. Another picture of some tigers. This was in a drawing pad not a drawing pad, a book at high school, so I drew that. Yeah, didn't really shade this one in or colour it in any way. I mean, I guess I did do a little bit of shading, but it's super basic. But yeah, that was a cool drawing. Again, starting to challenge myself with doing just a little bit of a background. And more tigers. I said last week, and I will say it again this week, tigers are my favourite animals next to horses. I was basically born to love tigers. I even have one of those big soft toy tigers. So I drew tigers a lot. So these days I'm very good at drawing both tigers and horses. So yeah, this is actually quite a nice picture. Obviously two separate pictures, but they're both quite nice. I like the expression in his eye, and that one looks quite regal. It's quite a nice picture. I didn't really sign my pictures back then. I don't think I started signing my pictures until 2010. But yeah, nice drawings. Another PS2 character, and I'm sure lots of you love him. This is Sora from Kingdom Hearts. So I had drawn him before for my oldest brother and gave it to him as a birthday present, but I decided to draw, sorry about that guys, that is I think a helicopter going by. Anyways, so yeah, I decided to draw Sora again for myself. I think this is from the second one, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah. Yeah, this is actually a finished colouring and looks pretty good. I really struggled with his shoes. I remember his shoes were quite complex for me, so yeah. I've actually drawn him again. I drew him back in 2020. Took me a couple of times, but I was quite surprised looking back at this one, going like, how did I fit his full body in? Because when I drew him in 2020, he was just like taken over the page. I couldn't fit all of him in, and so yeah, so I was quite like, how did I do this back then? But yeah, it's pretty cool picture. His face is a little bit iffy, but overall it's a great picture. I'm really happy with that one. Back to drawing more tigers. Gosh, last week was horses, this week it seems to be tigers. Excuse me. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool picture. Again, basic shading. And this one, so these are characters from my first novel. So that's the main character, Silver Spike, and her golden stage. So she's got like 3 stages to her powers. So the first stage is silver spikes, and then the second stage is gold, and then the third stage is bronze. So and then this is another character, Jaguar Tail and Squid. So yeah, she's throughout quite a lot of my drawing pads, and you'll see she develops quite a lot as my drawings get better. And yes, that's a girl. I know she looks like a boy. It's just how it was back then. I wasn't very good at drawing girls, and I really liked the hairstyle, so I wanted to put her with that kind of hairstyle, even though it is a bit boyish, but that's okay. This one. So at the start of 2009, my parents and I went to Auckland, and we went to Auckland Zoo. So this is actually a life drawing. So I drew the tiger at the zoo just by looking at him and drawing. So, and again, challenging myself with the background. It's quite nice. So yeah, that's the Auckland tiger back in 2009. It's a really nice picture. Oh yeah, so this is just me just playing around with my character Silver Spike, which was in that previous picture. So this is just me kind of looking into her, like, I don't know, like her anatomy kind of thing. It was just like how does she work? kind of thing. So yeah, I was just playing around with it. So yeah, I was quite inspired by Wolverine and X-Men, so yeah. And again, so this was tigers at the zoo, at Auckland Zoo. So this is a more detailed picture of the tigers. So that's a baby tiger as well. So no, and I've actually signed it, Be Still My Beating Heart. Yes, so this is this is my signature back then. I was saying last week that in my first, what was it, 2 or 3 years in high school, I was known as the tiger saver, because that was my dream as a teenager, to become a conservationist, specifically towards tigers. So I would sign my books and drawings, some of my drawings, as Grace Fischel, Tiger Saver, and with the face. This is actually not a love heart. This is a thumbs up. But yeah, to this day, I still have that part of the signature, the face, not the Tiger Saver. And then I've just shortened Grace Fischel to Grace F, as you'll see later. So, yeah. So this is the tiger from the drawing book before. So this is, decided to try this picture again, this time without tracing it, but using my own hand skills. And so it turned out okay. The legs are a bit long, and his face is a bit funny, but it's all right. Like I said, I was really obsessed with this picture and getting it right. So yeah, I think after I drew this picture, I was like, yeah, it's okay. I think I could have been better, but I think for what it is, it's not too bad. So this is from that same drawing book, Awesome Things to Draw. So it had big machines was one of the books, and so decided to draw this picture because it looked quite cool. So yeah, I think that book was really cool in regards to teaching basic shading and simple backgrounds as well. That's why I ended up giving it to my nephew. He's 10 years old now, and he's quite interested in drawing. And my sister-in-law thought about taking him to an art class, and I ended up suggesting and giving him this art book, because that's how I ended up learning how to draw and how to shade and draw different backgrounds and stuff. So yeah, love that book. Back to the PS2 characters. So this is Tidus from sorry, just move it down a bit. This is Tidus from Final Fantasy X. My oldest brother was obsessed. He was in love with the Final Fantasy games when I was younger, so around this age, 14, 15, I used to watch him play, Final Fantasy VII with Squall. Such a funny name. But yeah, he was playing Final Fantasy X, and this is actually the cartoonish type picture that it has on the game case. So I wanted to draw him. Yeah. I didn't draw him again until what was it, last year, the year before? Obviously you'll see that later. But yeah, thought this picture was quite cool. Again, I was surprised. I was like, how on earth did it manage to fit his entire body on a page? Because I really struggled doing that a few years ago. Figured out the trick though, so so yeah, it's a pretty cool picture. So this was kind of experimental. It was kind of like a like a cave drawing. So decided one day to just kind of put a layer of pencil on the as a base, and then use my eraser and draw this tiger. And it turned out really cool. I was really happy with this. It was really out of the box, out of my comfort zone. So, but yeah, I really loved it. So for a class project in 2009 for art, we had to design a zoo sign. So I ended up doing this with colour, and my teacher didn't want me to do that design. Like, she wanted me to go with something else, but I was like, nah, I really want to do this. So and that's what I did. But she then like put it in my school report that I was like being stubborn, and so my parents started calling me stubborn, which I thought wasn't very nice of the teacher to do that. She you know, I was showing self-motivation, to be honest. She just didn't like it that I didn't want to do her thing. I just went my own way, and clearly she didn't like that. But what are you going to do, eh? That's art teachers for you. Or school. They want you to do what they want you to do. Ugh. It's not like I'm mad about it or anything. Jokes. I've totally moved past it. It's fine. Back to drawing more of my characters. So this is them going to war. So that's Jaguar Tail again, Silver Spike. And that's one of the other characters, Sharkfin. And so Horsemane, who he's riding, is actually a character who's like part horse, part person, and she can shift into a horse. So yeah, and then Silver Spike's horse, which is an Andalusian, my favourite breed of horse. So yeah. Let's see here. Oh, that's right. So again, from my first book, this is just Jaguar Tail and Silver Spike standing at the beach, and there's a beautiful sunset. So I did this with oil pastel, which was I actually don't like oil pastel. I prefer like soft pastel. Like I found it really hard to blend or to kind of colour with the oil pastels, a lot harder. And to this day I still have oil pastels, I think, but I stray away from it. I prefer more soft pastels. I think that fits more into my style. But yeah, back then I only had oil pastels, so yeah, not my favourite medium. Could try it again one day, I don't know. It's just like I felt like when I coloured it just wasn't very smooth, and yeah, like I said, it just didn't really fit into my art style. But yeah, it's a picture. So yeah. And back to the picture from the Awesome Things to Draw. This isn't what I usually draw, but yeah, I really like this picture in the drawing book, so I drew that. I did kind of go my own way with some of these characters. Like I changed his face, and I think I added that person, so yeah. Again, from my first book, so this is Silverspike walking into the forest on the island, and she comes across this guy. So this, I didn't draw it in the picture, but this animal actually has two tails, so, and she's like, her expression was like, what the flip. I remember I wasn't too happy with this picture. Like I found that her face, she kind of blended in too much with the background, which I didn't like. My mum was like, oh, don't worry about it, you know, like she thought it was quite a cool picture. But yeah, you know, I didn't have a lot of experience drawing background, so this was probably my first proper attempt at like drawing a background of a forest and colouring it in as well, which is actually quite challenging, but I did the best I could, and I think it's all right. So yeah. So this is again from the Awesome Things to Draw. Just a guy surfing. I really liked doing the erasing parts to show like the movement of the wave and stuff. Thought it was quite satisfying doing that. So yeah, again, not something I typically draw, but I did like the picture. Ah, finally a horse. Oh, look at that. So this is just a picture from a I think it's online or maybe in a book. Can't remember. Anyways, I like the picture. I really liked, and I still do, I really like Mustangs. They've got quite a beautiful coat. So I didn't do much detail on the foal, but yeah, tried to do some shading, so quite nice. Did some smudging. I know that's a big no-no, but I liked the look of the smudging. I don't do it these days anymore because I've kind of learnt how to shade a bit better, but back then smudging was kind of like my only way of kind of blending in the pencil and showing the lighter gradients, so that's what I did. So this is obviously Sasuke and Naruto from the anime series. I was obsessed with Sasuke. I was going to call him Sake. It's not his name. So I used to watch this all the time on Cartoon Network. So I found this picture online and I just drew it and coloured it in. It's actually quite a nice colouring as well. It's quite smooth as opposed to my usual liney, scrappy colouring, but this is actually quite nice. So yeah, I've drawn him a lot over the years, as you'll see, and I've drawn him a bit too. This one. So I really wanted to draw a picture of the devil and Jesus fighting each other, so that's what it is. It's Jesus fighting Satan, and you can't see Satan and can't see his face either, but you can see the awesome horses. So that was something I wanted to draw, and I did it. So it's pretty cool picture. Yeah, I think even back then and to this day, I don't often draw Jesus's face, because I don't know what Jesus really looks like. So in a few of my drawings, when when I have drawn Jesus, his face is often hidden. But yeah. This was from another different drawing book I had. What was it called? I can't remember its name, but it was similar to the Awesome Things to Draw. It had like 6 books in one. And so one of the books was Desert Animals, so I decided to draw this. And again, I went with the smudging because it created a nice effect. So yeah, done that animal a bit long, haven't I? That was an issue I had. Oh right, I know why. So I'd often be like sitting down quite low, and so the angle was quite often ended up being elongated, a bit stretched, so a case of that. That's from the same book, from Forest Animals, Margie. His face is a bit funny, but that's okay. And this is my attempt at drawing the background, which is quite nice. So, yeah. Oh, again, same book. Actually, oh yeah. Yeah, so this was the time I was kind of going through that drawing book and choosing different things to draw. That's why I like those kind of drawing books a lot, and that's why I ended up. Another reason why I gave it to my nephew, because it's got there's lots of inspiring stuff when you're stuck as an artist. You can just flip through and find a picture and draw it. So yeah, this was Dodge Durango from that big book. So it had a book of cars to draw, so I gave that a go, and it turned out quite nicely, actually, I think. So yeah, really loved drawing cars. I wish I still had it, but back in intermediate I went through a stage of drawing motorbikes because there was a motorbike drawing book, and I got really obsessed with it. So yeah, I wish I still had that, but I don't anymore. But yeah, I've always really liked drawing cars. They're quite challenging drawing on this kind of angle, but I didn't do too bad. I mean, this is quite nice. This is a bit off, but that's okay, you know. It's quite a struggle getting those angles right with cars. I love drawing them, as I have said, but they're one of the more difficult things to draw because they're so accurate and they're so technical, much like a human face. If you get something wrong, the whole picture ends up looking off. So that's something that's a love-hate thing about cars and people's faces, is that they're very technical, so that does make it hard to draw, but it doesn't deter me. So that's a caracal from the book, the Desert Animals section. So yeah, some birds in the background. Again, this is my character, Jaguar Tail and Squid. I drew that in class, actually, I remember. Actually, one time I was actually drawing this picture during what was supposed to be reading time. I was like drawing it, and my teacher caught me. It's like, Grace, it's not drawing time, it's reading time. So this is going back to that drawing book, and that did not go as well as I'd hoped. It ended up being a little bit odd. It looks like a bean. yeah, funny. The shading's not too bad, just the drawing. This was from a not that book, but just a picture in a magazine or something. I thought it was really cool, so gave it a go. I often prefer to draw cars on that kind of angle rather than on a side angle. The side angle isn't as interesting. Yeah. Again, back to drawing a tiger from the internet. Oh yeah, so I found this picture and I printed it off, but back then my parents had a really bad printer, so the pictures didn't always come out fantastically, so so that was the best I could do. Then there's a tiger. That's not using any reference, so this is just me just drawing a tiger without a reference. So, and going back to the old oil pastel, which I hate. But yeah. Again, lots of tigers in this one. So again, from a reference online. This is a scene from my first book. So Silver Spike leaps out of a hole that she was trapped in, and Jaguar Tail's like, "Ah, don't hurt me." And these guys are standing by going, "What the flip?" But yeah, I was going to include this picture actually in the book because the first book does have illustrations, but I looked back at this picture and was like, nah, I don't think I'm going to include that. But yeah. Oh yeah, so this is my dad's motorbike. So this is a much closer angle than the other picture. So hence the detail. And I even added a background. So ended up looking a lot cooler, and I even decided to do the writing in a gold pen. So yeah, I really like that picture. I think it really holds up to this day. I mean, the wheels are a bit, but I think it's a really good picture. This was me trying something different. I had this kind of idea of like just this ink styled horse in the background, and then this watercolor styled background, and just the tents and one of them smoking. So it didn't turn out quite how I wanted it to, but the horse looks good at least. So yeah, I had really bad paints back then. That's from a book, just a reference in a book at school. I wanted to draw it. So yeah. Oh yeah, so this picture is from, I did actually have this picture last week, but this was me trying it again. So those of you who don't know, so Faber-Castell used to have DVDs that came with their pack of pencils, and this was one of the DVDs, and it would be of this artist named Einstein, and he'd draw these cute little creatures. And so this was me giving this picture a go. This I'd actually drawn this in my previous drawing pad, so from 2008, but I decided to give it a go again, and it turned out a lot better. So that's that. What a throwback. So this is from the Cartoon Network series Codename Kids Next Door, one of my favourite shows. So this is number 1, 4 and 5 today. I didn't end up drawing the other guys, so I just drew them, but yeah. What a throwback. That was such a good show. So this is from Tekken 3, PS1. So that's Jin Kazama. It's a pretty cool picture. Oh yeah, so this is me going back to my main character, Silver Spike. So that's her in her 3 stages. So that's Silver Spike, and then Golden, and then Bronze. I kind of liked the colour Bronze, so I decided to make it the 3rd stage, even though Bronze is typically 3rd. But decided to make it the strongest stage, so yeah. Oh yeah, so this was me trying to draw the picture from the Faber-Castell brand with the horses fighting. It's their kind of like their their logo basically. So yeah, I tried to draw it, but I think I just bailed on this picture, so it didn't end up finishing it. I wanted to like draw it and then colour it, but didn't end up happening. So that is part 2009 part 1. So yeah, let me know in the comments which was your favourite picture. And next week I'll be back doing 2009 part 2. Woohoo! So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace!